This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Here's the unpopular truth. You don't need to read more books or get lost in the black hole that is YouTube in order to improve your life. You just simply need to apply 2 rules that you've known about for years or even decades. Rules that become obvious when you listen to your intuition. They're easy to implement, yet still come with their own challenges. Now, some may argue that these rules are common sense. And to that, I'd say if they were so common, then more people in this world would be leading happier and more fulfilled lives. Rule number 1, follow the path of most resistance. There's a Stoic principle that I feel fits this conversation seamlessly, and that principle is this: voluntary discomfort, which is all about getting comfortable with uncomfortable situations. See, every being on this planet has a very different definition of success and fulfillment, and that's because none of us are the same. However, the path to get there isn't that different. I challenge you to think back during a time of your life where you felt really good, fulfilled, and deeply proud of yourself. If you care to share your experience and story, comment below. But I remember very vividly a handful of moments in my life where I felt truly fulfilled and deeply proud of myself. To give you a broad sense, some of those moments include paying off my student loans and completely changing the trajectory of my financial future, crossing the 100 subscriber milestone here on YouTube, and back during my days as a track and field athlete, I remember training at a speed and strength facility, and when I was 20 years old, I ran 22 miles an hour on a treadmill. See, all of these moments, while very different, share one commonality that I've grown to realize over time. See, the reason I felt so fulfilled was not solely because of the result itself, but because of the fight, the resistance, the hard work, the discomfort I felt in some cases that I had to help push me through to reach that result. In other words, I was traveling the path of most resistance. To drill down into this conversation a little further, I like to quickly share 3 sub-rules that I feel support traveling the path of most resistance. Number 1, be okay with making mistakes. Do not be embarrassed by your failures and past decisions. Instead, learn from them and apply those learnings to present day. This helped me a lot with paying off my student loans. If I held on to that embarrassment that I had debt and that I wasn't the best with money, then I would not have been able to pay off all of my debts in 12 months and change my entire financial life for the better. Number 2, be curious and courageous. Do something every day that scares you. When I first started this YouTube channel, I was beyond nervous and afraid of judgment. I also knew very little about cameras and video editing, but because of my curiosity and courageousness to share my poetry and gift of gab, I decided to put myself out there, despite my fears, and I haven't looked back since. Number 3, be a bit more spontaneous. To be honest, I sometimes lack spontaneity in my life. It's still a work in progress, but I've learned that if you don't step outside of your comfort zone and do things that challenge you, that might make you feel awkward, or something that's just different for you, then you'll never know the depth of your potential. If I never challenged myself that day at that training facility, if I never allowed my trainer to push me past my comfort zone, if I lacked spontaneity in that moment, then I would have never ran 22 miles an hour on that treadmill. Rule number 2, don't let people project their fears onto you. A lesson I'd love for you to walk away from this conversation with is that people can be intimidated by your energy, your life, and your success. And something I've grown to learn is that intimidation takes on many forms. Some people may completely ignore you. Some may try to befriend you and make you like them. And some may see you as a potential threat and try to manipulate others against you. I'm sure you've crossed paths with someone at some point who acted just like this. Maybe they spoke down about your business or told you that you were doing too much after succeeding and accomplishing certain goals. Or maybe they tried to manipulate others around you by telling them that you've been acting brand new all of a sudden. See, those light dimmers, haters, frenemies, and folks your parents warned you about when they said those aren't your real friends are the exact ones that will project their fears and limitations on you if you allow them to. Because deep down, they feel like they're not living up to their greatness. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure fear and self-doubt paralyzes you the same way it has them. Here are a few things I want to encourage you to keep in mind. Number 1, doubt your doubts. The next time you find yourself doubting yourself because of what someone else said, doubt your doubts. Remember, fear feeds on doubt, and it will make you believe that you aren't good enough for any number of reasons: gender, race, education, and skills, to name a few. But see, when you doubt your doubts and choose to lean into what you know you're capable of, then you'll without a doubt improve your life and start to achieve great things. Number 2, be who you truly are. How would you feel if every day you said what you meant, stayed true to yourself, and behaved in accordance with this, regardless of what anyone thinks or has to say about you? See, being true to yourself is far less stressful than being someone you're not and living within the limitations that someone else has placed on you. As a matter of fact, I want to take a moment and talk to the daydreamer who's listening right now. The aspiring artist, writer, filmmaker, cook, business owner of any type. If you're feeling hesitant to start that business that's been in the back of your head for years because you're afraid that no one is going to support you or read your blog or buy your product or service, or you're just unsure about how to put yourself out there because so-and-so has projected their fears and limitations on you, if that's you, I want to help you out. And my friends over at Squarespace are giving you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All you have to do is click the link down in the description below and sign up. There's no reason to feel hesitant or afraid, nor do you have to spend your life savings to get started. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that makes it very easy to build a website, sell your product or service, and connect with those who want to support you. My personal website, ronaldlbanks.com, was built using Squarespace. The community of you who have joined my email list and signed up to grow on this journey with me, that's also managed through Squarespace. See, if I listened to the naysayers talk about what they thought about me or allowed them to project their fears and limitations on me, then ronaldlbanks.com would not exist. Go ahead and check out Squarespace if you're interested, and then when you're ready to get started and launch your website, go to squarespace.com/ronaldlbanks and save 10%. Remember, their limitations are not your limitations. So always travel the path of most resistance. And when you start to doubt yourself, doubt your doubts. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And if you did, comment below and let me know which part resonated the most with you. Keep growing, keep learning, and always stay true to you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.